Drivers, start your engines!
Be plenty of carnage up. Full head on them. Wound up. Yeehaw, boys. Holy.
It's a junkyard.
There's too much time hitting people. Chill a second. No gas, gotta hang off here. Don't overdrive. Just let me do my job.
10 times. I don't care if I wreck the whole field. I'm over him. He's just a moron. That was an absolute bullshit. Not clear. Awesome. I tell you, Mama ain't racing no.
What the f*** are you doing out here? People are saying, just racing like idiots.
I don't care. Let me drive.
What is he doing?
This is embarrassing. What a clown show.
Did you ever think you would see that?
Hello. Did that just happen? Holy cow! Let's go!
Unk still got it. That is the message our chat is relaying as Kyle Busch just clinched the Daytona 500 pole. How's it going, folks? My name is Eric Estep. I am the host this week of NWP. Post Daytona 500 qualifying just wrapped up minutes ago. I am joined by Danny B, Daniel Baldwin. Danny, where did Alex Bowman qualify? Did he crack the top 10?
He did crack the top 10. What did he get? Fifth, Jarrett? Is that what he got?
I was only paying attention to the front row. I'm not gonna lie.
I want to say he got fifth place, so still around right where you expect Bowman to start one of these Daytona 500s. Where he finishes it, no one ever knows.
Yeah, we'll hopefully
Jarrett
find that out.
I know it's part of your everyday outfit. It seems very fitting what hat you're wearing, Jarrett.
I didn't plan it that way. I just, something made me think, probably should wear an 8 hat tonight. Totally not for JRM. Totally not.
We cannot relate. I think Jarrett has 3 hats. He has that one, a Vikings hat, and his Winston Cup hat. I can look over my shoulder here, and I have like a rack of like 60 hats.
Oh, no. These are the common ones. I have a Dale Jr. hat forever. That was the hat he had for every year of his career from 2000 to 2017. Like everyone
start breaking those out. You got to start rotating those in and out because I feel like I see that one every other week.
Well, I grew my hair out, so like some of them were kind of fit for a shorter haircut, and they're just sort of set there.
I understand. Wow. No, style is most important here before sentimentality. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, geez, almost 1,000 folks have already tuned in. Hope y'all enjoyed qualifying. Thank you for being here. It's great to be hanging out with y'all. I have an early flight tomorrow heading to Daytona International Speedway for a long weekend. So let's get right to it, folks. We've got a lot to talk about. Let's just begin with Daytona 500 pole qualifying. Yes, Kyle Busch with new crew chief Jim Pullman. What a way to start. Must have been some productive offseason meetings. They are on the pole, joined by last year's pole winner, Chase Briscoe. Front row for a Chevy, a Toyota. Jared, I'll start with you. Reaction, surprised Kyle Busch showed up with this much speed?
A little bit, just because there was such a difference between even the 8 and the 3 this time.
Yeah.
And I think that's something Clint Boyer had noted, is that like a lot of even the teams were separated a good bit. And there seems to be more separation this year. A lot of the years with the next gen, it seemed like there was, you had a clump of Gibbs cars. Oh, there were the Hendrick cars there, or the RFK Fords or JGR. And this year it's all jumbled up all over the place. I mean, heck, according to Fox, they're even jumbling up manufacturers between each round.
Yeah, nice little typo, Fox. Mid-season form from our friends at Fox Sports.
Actually, I got that.
Yeah.
Right.
You screenshotted it? Oh yeah.
This is. I took this photo here. Literally,
Kyle Busch back in a Toyota.
No,
that's what it was.
So only one driver in this picture is in the correct manufacturer. We can't even tell about Chase Elliott because it's just so bright. They're the same color. I'm going to assume it's wrong too. You have Kyle Busch Toyota, Chase Briscoe, Priest, Hamlin, and Chevys. Alex Bowman is a Toyota. Kyle Larson is a Ford. Corey Heim is a Chevy. Chase Elliott is a NASCAR 09, and Joey Logano is in a Chevy.
Yeah. Mid-season form. No, but to your point, Jarrett, there was no real continuity tonight. Like, I just pulled up the top 10 qualifiers. You have a Chevy, a Toyota, and a Ford, 1, 2, 3. Then a couple Toyotas on different teams. Then 2 more Chevys, a Ford, a Chevy, a Ford. Last season, it was Briscoe kind of randomly in first, and then it was a bunch of Fords, like second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, if I recall. So a little less continuity tonight, even between teammates. We can talk a little bit about some of the open drivers. Corey Heim locks himself into the Daytona 500 on speed, but his 2311 teammates were all terrible. So I guess 2311 found the best parts and pieces from their latest shipment, decided let's put them on the car that's not locked in. And Corey Heim with Booty Barker as crew chief ripped off a pretty great lap. Danny, reaction to Corey Heim. I think he ends up 5th tonight, if I'm not 5th or 6th. I have to look at the top 10 again, 5th or 6th. He'll have a great starting spot for his duel, but you impressed with the young rookie?
Definitely impressed, especially compared to, 2311's third full-time entrant. And, I know money gets you very far in a sport, and it definitely buys people a lot of time in a ride. But at the same time, there's a undeniable talent difference. And I'm wondering at what point, how the season progresses, could we see a driver pulled out of a ride in favor of better talent? I mean, I don't know what
Mid-season?
possibly. I mean,
Oh,
I guess we've seen something similar with Corey LaJoy and Justin Haley did something similar. They basically traded rides midway through a season.
Jarrett, what say you? Corey Heim, a year ago, he made a mistake at Chicago and failed to qualify for that race. So there has to be a huge sigh of relief to say he's in the Daytona 500, doesn't have to worry about tomorrow night.
Well, and I think on top of that, he kind of talked about how he was nervous, but there's got to be a chip on your shoulder. I mean, you put together the greatest season in Truck Series history. You have went up to the Cup Series and ran top 5 and top 10 in different races, even with that missed race, and you still are only getting 12 Cup races this year, and then other spot starts in O'Reilly and Truck. You have to think that tonight was very, for as much as you can't take away from it, maybe like driver talent wise or how the team will be long term, there is a bit of like vindication, like, I do belong here. And I think that what it's huge for more than him is Toyota. I mean, the every added Toyota in this race will help them exponentially better in their chances to win because of how outnumbered they are. If you have more Toyotas in, you're not going to have to chase after different Chevy teams or Ford teams to try and draft with them. So I think that is really the big story here that probably won't be looked at as much. Having Heim up there will make that big difference for Bubba Wallace, for Tyler Reddick, for Chase Briscoe, Denny Hamlin, whoever has to work with him up there. So I think that's pretty big too.
That's a great point, because with Jimmy Johnson locked into the field via the OEP, that means Toyota will have, I believe, 11 out of 41 spots. 11 Toyotas. It wasn't that long ago. That was closer to 6, 7, 8, maybe was the max we would see. They'll have 11
5
Toyotas.
Time. I think when it was just JGR and one furniture row, I should say.
Yeah, exactly. So strength in numbers, you're exactly right. The other open car that is qualified in on speed this year, another reason Jared is likely wearing the 8 hat. Junior Motorsports, they'll go to sleep happy this Wednesday night. Last year, they were not sleeping so easily. They had to race their way in through the duels last season. This season, they clinch a spot on speed. Justin Allgaier is in. Danny, I'll start with you. Excited to see that 40 car out on the high banks once again?
Yes, absolutely. One of my YouTube friends from over in the trains community, his name is Chris, he goes by WIT Simulations. He was actually talking about on his train stream before qualifying that he works for like a whiskey company in Kentucky, or a bourbon, but they do help produce some of that Travelers brand. So he was definitely rooting for Justin Allgaier. So I was like, low key, I was kind of thinking, oh, that's good for him too, that his company got their car into it. And that's it's really cool to see Justin get in there, twice with Junior Motorsports. Now they're 2 for 2, making at least this race. Who knows? If they only become a team that only tries the Daytona 500, I think people would still be happy with that, just because of what this race meant to the Earnhardt family for so many years. It has it's a weird race. It has obviously a dark history, but has so many more better histories of the Earnhardt family as well.
Well, and what I like too was when they're interviewing Junior and Kelly on pit road, and you can see Kelly, who does all of the work with the money and all of the finance stuff, is a nervous wreck and worried as hell and just relieved. And Junior's like, it don't matter if we make it or not. I'm having fun.
That was something Claudia pointed out to me. She said that he just seems like such a likable guy. And I was just thinking, yeah, I mean, compared to how he was as a driver, like this version of Dale Earnhardt Jr. is just so fun to enjoy, just because he just seems like he's in such a better place in his life. He's not so uptight like he was when he was racing.
Yeah, it felt like tonight in a way, and this was somewhat. I feel like last year there was real pressure, because I do remember the Thursday night when they did race their way in. There's a lot that can go wrong in those duels. I remember standing on pit road, and there was emotions. It was aggressive hugging. It was borderline tears. It was deep breaths. It was raw excitement and relief. I think this year it was like, man, we're just having fun. Like last year could not have gone better. Didn't they have like the best selling die cast last year too? Like they moved so much merchandise. They made so much money, I'm sure, on that effort last season. Why not run it back again? I feel like there was less pressure this year. And hey, credit to their race team. They got a fast car on track tonight and have raced their way in. I want to touch on a few of the drivers, notable drivers who will have to race their way in through the duels. Corey LaJoie, man, he was this close to racing his way into the main in the Clash, that great battle with Austin Cindric and AJ Allmendinger. Came up just short. Tonight, he came up one spot short of beating Justin Allgaier. I think it was like 3/1000ths of a second slower than Allgaier. LaJoie was. He'll be in a decent spot to race his way in through the duels. But what do y'all think of Corey LaJoie? And I'll also mention Chandler Smith, because I was surprised by how slow Front Row Motorsports was in single car qualifying. I would right now probably pick those two. I should say I would have picked those two to make it coming in, but now I'm not so sure about Chandler Smith. What do you think, Jarrett?
Well, I want to know who's in what duel, because
that's true.
It's so important.
Yeah.
It's so much. I like that it's simple. Like I'm not crazy about ensuring tons of spots in, but if we're going to simplify things, if we're going to have it that way, this is the way to do it. And that it did surprise me too. I really thought Front Row was going to be faster. They've been fast so far in this, but I think what we're seeing right now, between some teams struggling that normally don't on qualifying runs and on speed, the disparity of some teams, is I think we're seeing that we are now 5 years into the next gen. We're seeing some teams picking up on stuff that others aren't, even inter-organizationally. And then on top of all of that, this year is kind of unprecedented in the sense that only one driver who was in the full-time 36 car field last year is not in the Cup field this year, and that's Justin Haley in place for Connor Zilic. So there's, I think, also a lot of synergy with a lot of these teams too that changes stuff up. So I think that's part of what we're seeing. I think Corey LaJoie, barring getting crashed out of his duel, I think is the odds-on favorite, though, to make it. I think those RFK Fords are fast. He's great at super speedways. It's just about not screwing it up at this point, in my opinion.
Yeah, someone else that I'm kind of, watching for in duels is Anthony Alfredo, because that team, that Beard Oil team, has always done fairly well in these races, and he's also a driver that, as long as he can stay out of trouble, I trust him to be decent enough to have a legitimate shot to race his way in.
Yeah, I like Anthony Alfredo as well. Again, I was just surprised Front Row didn't seem to have as much speed as I was expecting. Sorry, am I a little hot on the mic? I feel like I'm like really loud in my ear.
No,
I sound
good.
good?
Good for me.
Good. What wasn't good tonight was
duels. That's all. I'm looking for the duels starting lineup so we can actually say who we think is going to make it.
Bob, you're slacking. Where is it, Bob?
I was
the chat will
NASCAR
probably
website.
catch it.
Yeah, the NASCAR website was even being slow, showing me like I can't even like easily find the actual qualifying results tonight, like the page is down or whatever. I do see Corey Heim just posted a video, we in with a lock emoji. So he's feeling himself. It is Heim time in Daytona Beach right now. What I was starting to say though is, one thing that was not good was Noah Gragson making a preseason rookie mistake. He apparently was the only driver in the garage who did not get the memo that you can't put your hand out the window to deflect air. Keep your hands, arms, feet, legs inside the vehicle at all times. Noah Gragson ignored that warning and got himself a penalty.
He has bright white gloves too.
What? Yeah, the NASCAR. I haven't heard that sound bite yet. Yes, the NASCAR police got him, and he owned up to it. He confessed to the crime right there at the scene. He wasn't trying to be sneaky. He just straight up didn't know, just a brain fart, which, okay, it's early in the season, we'll allow that. But I talked on my show earlier today about, young drivers, trying to adjust mentally to the NASCAR Cup Series. And I actually said, I think Noah Gragson has struggled with that. Here he is making a mental mistake, not 4 hours after I said that. So unfortunately, if anyone was going to mess up that rule tonight, I think we all probably would have predicted Noah Gragson. So he's not exactly bucking the stereotype there.
He's not exactly, I think, known as someone that is privy to the art of subtlety. I'll say, he's definitely someone who is very intentional with what he does and isn't going to hide it. So it sucks, but it's still kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie.
He went from, I don't have the leaderboard in front of me. He went from probably a 32nd place result to a 40th place result. So it wasn't, went from bad to a little worse, I guess. Not the end of the world, I suppose. But what did y'all think of that rule change? I haven't heard an explanation. Why did NASCAR outlaw that? I didn't really feel like that. I don't really feel like it impacted anything. Like it's a strategy. Let them do it. I don't understand why they felt the need to police that personally.
I'm with you on that. It feels like kind of overthinking it, as I think what they did. I think they overthought, and they're like, they had Logano with the webbed glove and the controversy there, but it's like, if you just leave it wide open, people adapt. They'll figure it out on their own,
Yeah. Well, again, not a huge penalty for Noah Gragson at the end of the day. Still going to be at the back of the field for his dual race, but fortunately for him, he is locked into the show. Anything else from qualifying? I feel like we did kind of gloss over Kyle Busch a little bit now that more folks have filed in. Do we want to circle back to Kyle for just a moment? Because I remember the storyline this week 1 year ago was Kyle Busch. He just had his first winless season ever. This is his 20th year of trying to win the Daytona 500. He's in an RCR car. All the Dale Earnhardt 1998 parallels were there. And now here we are. He's on the pole, has a new crew chief, contract year. There's so many variables, so many questions, still on a massive winless streak. I mean, what does this say? Is this something to watch? Do y'all feel, I know we'll make picks at the end of the show tonight, but do y'all feel like maybe Kyle Busch, maybe they've got some juice this week, this year?
I want to say yes, but it's just qualifying, and it's such a crapshoot with the gridlock, and they 3 wide with drafting when they're saving gas and all of that. Like, I feel like RCR and Kyle Busch should, they should be fast here. They have in the past, but at this point, I just ask me with 15 to go. That's kind of where I'm at anymore.
I was talking to my friend today, and he pointed out, at Daytona and Talladega the last few years, I think Kyle Busch has the 5th or 6th best average finish, which I know it's a lot goes into that, a lot of random, a lot of fluke. I think Busch himself said today that winning these races now is 80% luck. So maybe it was mostly luck, but he has won at Talladega in an RCR car. He was leading the Daytona 500 at lap 200 a couple of years ago and lost in overtime. So he's been in this picture before. If he can stay up near the front, this could be an exciting week. Sorry, Danny, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you saying?
No, you're good. You're fine. I really think that I know it's just qualifying, but that looked to be, in my opinion, the fastest the fastest car that I've seen Kyle Busch have in speed weeks. Let me see where he did in practice too, because I really didn't pay attention to that.
I think he was good in practice. I think he was near the top in practice as well. But he was like a whole 10th faster in that first round of
Yeah, just I remember when they were showing him compared to the bubble car, and he was like just gone from the 10th place. I was like, screw the bubble. Show me what he looks like compared to the fastest car so far. Like he went to the front in that, and I don't think he quite hit the 48-second mark in his final run, but he was the only driver to hit 48-second mark in the first round for sure. But he's got a fast car. It's one of those cars that, and Grand Start up front helps you a lot. If he can just stay in clean air, he looked very comfortable. But we'll see what happens as this race progresses.
So it's apparently the dual lineups are up now.
Okay, hit us with that, and then we'll each make our final picks for those last 2 open entries we think are gonna get in.
These are not for points; they're just for fun.
Yeah. So Duel 1, Korheim is already in. Let's see, Allgaier already in. So it's LaJoy.
Okay.
And then I'm just scrolling. Oh, this is the field. Where's the duel? What the hell?
Oh.
It said dual lineup, and I'm going down. I'm like, this is too many cars. Where?
Oh, well.
Is this on NASCAR's site? What are you looking at?
Come on, NASCAR Communications.
It was on Daytona Beach News Journal.
We need y'all to communicate.
We do this every year where we basically have to, like, if y'all in the chat know where it's at, every year we have to basically chase after the dual lineups because Fox doesn't show them. And I want to know. Okay, let's see. This on NASCAR.com. 6 drivers be vying for the blah 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 blah. Those half dozen hopefuls are. Okay, yes. Which duels are they in? Jesus, even NASCAR.com. Even NASCAR.com doesn't say who's in what. So yeah, chat will probably. I know it's odds and evens, but sometimes they like muddy it up. That's the thing. That's the
I'd like to have like a confirmed entry list,
because they did that last year where I was like, oh, this is how it's going to be, and then they like moved a bunch of them. I mean, the chat I think has some.
Bob Pockris, it sounds like, says LaJoy, Chandler, and Mears are in Duel 1. Alfredo, McLeod, and Yaley are in Duel 2. So how does it work now? Is it just best finisher in that duel? So that bodes well, I think, for LaJoy, Alfredo. Duel 2 is Alfredo, McLeod, and Yaley. Yeah,
I feel like Alfredo and LaJoy. That's Chandler Smith can be the wild card, but
we've seen some crazy stuff because, like, you know, obviously you think LaJoy and Alfredo, but if they get crashed, then you know we may be in a world where Casey Mears and JJ Yaley are in it.
The only thing, I don't see a list yet, so I still don't know. Does LaJoy have multiple teammates in that race? Or does Chandler Smith? Who are there more front row? Chat, help us out here. We're doing this in real time. Are there more front row or RFK cars in Duel Race 1? I think that's going to be very important.
Fair point here. Yaley almost beat Jimmy in. And this year they have ECR power, so it is a better car.
Someone said LaJoy has all 4 RFK cars. Yes, all RFK cars are in Duel 1. Okay, he's getting in.
He's in. He's in.
Well, I mean, a crazy wreck can happen, but
if they like implode O'Reilly Series JRM Daytona style, maybe. But it's like, are they gonna? I mean, I guess there are points, and points matter. I think a lot more this year for a lot of drivers. Maybe people go all out for basically a stage. I mean, that's equivalent of what's being paid out. So
that's true. But I feel like the message for that, like 1 or 2 points versus getting a 4th car, ensuring your 4th teammate gets in. I think the message will be clear from upstairs, but we'll see. These guys are crazy when they put the visors down. So we'll see. So we're kind of all in agreement. Probably LaJoy and then probably Alfredo are the favorites. I think that's a safe bet.
I will say again, Yaley definitely, he can get at least a good out of the car to compete up there. So like, I won't count him out. We've seen BJ McLeod do really well. I feel like the only one we're counting out really right now fully is Casey Mears, just because that car just isn't up to snuff compared to the competition.
He was in the 52nd range in his qualifying time.
Chandler Smith storyline to watch though is 0 for 2. I think Yaley even is like 0 for 4 in Daytona 500, like in the last few years. I believe he's DNQ'd all of his recent attempts. So is Chandler Smith the last couple of years. So, I mean, certainly a young driver, chip. You want to talk about chip on your shoulder, trying to prove you belong. Going 0 for 3 would be really unfortunate for Chandler. But
Chandler
got a tall task.
This is kind of weird, but I'm also low key rooting for JJ Yeley to make it because so many Greg Biffle tributes going on this weekend, and I love seeing all the ones that RFK is doing. Colleague has a 16 out there. Even Norm Benning, his 6 is going to be in the Greg Biffle font this weekend. But people may not remember that 44 was the last car that Greg Biffle drove in NASCAR.
That's true. And did Biffle, he made the Daytona 500 in that car, didn't he?
He did.
Pretty sure.
2023 or 4?
22.
Chad, help us out.
22.
Yeah, because I was at I think 22, wasn't it?
Was it all the way back to 20? Okay, maybe.
It was 22. He wanted to drive the next gen car. So
time flies, man. You're right. That was a long time ago.
What was his last race? Was that it, or I thought there was more he was in?
I think he did SRX after that, but
like NASCAR race. The Chad will probably get it.
It was just 22. I think was his last year. I think.
Yeah, I remember the Grambling State car. I forgot that was 4 years ago now. My goodness.
Talladega. Spring Talladega was his last race.
True point from Malag. Greg Biffle never got paid for NY racing, apparently.
I do remember that was an off-track kerfuffle, you could say.
But in a way, it's not really the team. It's the fact that was Greg's last car in NASCAR. So low-key, you're kind of rooting for that one a little bit.
Yeah. Well, on that note, congrats to Kyle Busch, Pole Award winner. I already saw on Twitter, Busch and Briscoe. They're doing the classic photo shoot. That's really what this is about. It's bragging rights. You get a cool photo op. Kyle Busch, Chase Briscoe for the second straight year. Good for those guys. And then we know Justin Allgaier and Corey Heim are locked in. Corey LaJoy, Anthony Alfredo, Casey Mears, Chandler Smith, and others will have to race their way in tomorrow night. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. Before we get into our lightning round, we've got some headlines, some recent breaking news to talk about. Before we get into all that, how about we do a short super chat stage break here on NWP? We really appreciate the support. We'll start here with Palm Tree. Appreciate Palm Tree with the absolutely stacked Truck Series entry list and the always impending doom of a rainy delay, Florida on Sunday. Could we potentially see the Truck Series get more views than the 500 this year?
I don't think so.
How strong is the Cletus effect? That will be put to the test. I don't know about that. From Joshua Boston said, nice job to the Hot Rod Wyatt Dent Himes counterpart and the Silver Bulling Sterling Marlin Allgaier's counterpart for locking themselves into the Daytona 500 for the Rebirth Cup Series. Is that what that's what we're calling it now? Not the hell yeah.
That's the
one he does.
For all that.
That was a mouthful. That's right. Joshua's been doing those comps, the old school comps. Jeffrey King says everyone who created the paint schemes cooked. I assume the paint schemes for the Daytona 500 because there are some pretty nice looking ones out there. I ranked my top 10 today.
That 3 car is beautiful. I know a lot of hate was in the chat, but I liked Byron's 24. I thought it looked good under the lights.
It's weird seeing Raptor on basically Exalta colors, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's not as good as last year's, but it's not bad.
No.
Another one from Joshua. And the field had better watch out because the Hendrick Cars team is about to dominate till the end of the current TV deal. Go get him, Kyle Larson. Yes, we'll talk about Larson's new contract momentarily.
Speaking of Byron, they qualified bad, so we'll see.
Jeffrey King says Busch is fast, but I want to see how they race before I feel confident. Yep, we'll see how that 8 car goes in the draft. Man, Jeffrey and Joshua back and forth to start the night. Josh Berry, Busch's counterpart. Berry's in the competition and gets the pole for the Great American Race. And MTJ Martin Truex, Briscoe's counterpart, will join him on the front row. I don't know if I compare Josh Berry to Kyle Busch. It's an interesting comp, but go for it. And from Casey Rose, let's freaking go KFB. Hey guys, hope all is well. NWP got me through a rough 2 years. This is my first comment in super chat. See ya playoffs. Go 11 and 88. Much love to my go-to guys for NASCAR news. RIP the Biff. Yes, thank you for the super chat, Casey, and appreciate your support. Thank you for watching, listening. We really appreciate you, and it's good to see you. Jeffrey King says it's literal heresy and an abomination that Heim is not full-time, but Herbst is. I mean, I did think, it's Daytona qualifying. The driver doesn't do much, but somehow, did you notice on the broadcast night, Kevin Harvick and Clint Boyer found like 2 things to nitpick on Riley Herbst's lap. They nitpicked the way he got up through the gears. And then I think they briefly nitpicked maybe he clipped the apron at one point. Like, come on, if you can't even qualify at Daytona, what are you doing out there? I'm not trying to be mean, but like, what are we doing out there? I'll do a few more here. I didn't say that. That's Harvick and Boyer were like nitpicking. Anyway. Napa Racing Fan says, RIP Brad Arnold. Yes, we may be here without you, but sadly, it was time to let you go. Duck and Runaway. Jared, I'm sure these are
all
song titles.
All song titles.
I'm not going to be able to sing them, but thank you for the comment, Napa Racing Fan. And yes, of course, I know a lot of folks in the NASCAR industry even impacted by the loss of Brad Arnold this last week. From Twin Spinner, it's time. You better believe it. Young Money says, WTF Fox, we didn't even see the lineups for the duels. Yes, we were just clutching our pearls over that as well. I'm scrambling over here. Couple more real quick from the Roman numeral 3. Hopefully LaJoy gets his wrecking over with in the duels early. Don't want to see him wreck the field on the last lap running P3 or something. Man, come on now. Corey's got a couple of top 5s or top 10s.
That's what he said, running P3 or something.
Well, did he cause the Newman wreck? He was an innocent bystander. Come on now.
No, I don't think he caused that, but he definitely was there.
He was just there. He can't help it. He's just there. Anyway, Bad Chemicals says, yep, another KFB. Let's freaking go. Have a safe trip down to the track, Eric. Thank you, Bad Chemicals. Hopefully I have a good flight. And we'll do 3 more here. Justin Drake says, where was this Kyle Busch the last 3 years? He's been Mr. Irrelevant, except for caution replays. Brutal. Chat is brutal tonight. Derek says, Corey Heim put 2311 on his back today. They definitely put the special sauce into that 67 car. And then from Evergreen Mountain, oh boy. Hey, Eric, I tried raising canes. It's not good. I'll tell you what, though, that cane sauce is the fast food equivalent of late stage Stuart Haas, Kevin Harvick.
So carrying it?
I mean, the cane sauce is pretty damn great. That's a fair comparison.
The thing is, we've never said the chicken was great, but the chicken and sauce together makes it.
Have y'all seen that video? It's like a TikTok where the guy's like, but it's got the sauce, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hey, like that's how I feel about canes. Yeah, you're right. The chicken's it's fine on its own. It's pretty good. Fries pretty good. The Texas toast. Now that is pretty good, but it's got the sauce.
Think of Bob
saying.
Pockers. Get your toast always Bob, butter on both sides.
That's easy for
good.
NASCAR fans to remember. That's good. Thank you, Danny. That was our first super chat stage break. Really appreciate the support, folks. If I haven't gotten to your super chat yet, I promise we will get to it within the next hour by the end of this show. Really appreciate the support. But gentlemen, I think a storm warning has passed through the area. Hopefully the weather clears out before we get to racing this weekend at Daytona. It is the lightning round here on NWP. Jarrett, let you go for it.
Well, there's a few things going into Speed Week. So we've been talking about it for weeks. The NWP Fantasy League is open. We cleared out some of the spots on the bottom. There are 11 spots remaining to jump on in. Just look up NWP League. First come, first serve. Open to whoever wants to jump on in. Just make sure your name is appropriate in there. Okay.
Please.
Because just please.
We're all adults here. We want to have some good, clean family fun.
And on top of that, if people don't participate at Daytona, we'll boot them and you'll have maybe an option next week. But do you really want to leave it to being there a week late? I'm just saying, probably not. On top of that, we have the NWP channel where we will share this stream afterwards and after we're finished up tonight and have clips on there as well as different updates. So be sure to follow that. The in-season challenge has been announced that the seeds will be set by the point standings of the season to that point, not the point standings of the last 4 or 5 races before it, like it was last year. So a lot simpler on that end with it. They also were talking that if chasers in the chase for Truck, O'Reilly, or Cup tie in points at the end of the year, the tiebreaker is based on the best finish during the chase, not the full season. So performing those 10 races, 9 races, 7 races, that's pretty much it. Corey Heim on top of Daytona will start a total of 12 cup races in the 67 for 2311 this year. Ben Kennedy kind of, vague talk, said that there'll be new venues for the 2027 schedule and beyond, according to Sports Business Journal.
Vague posting king.
I'll say saying there'll be new venues at least does raise an eyebrow. Remember, there was that talk about 2027 being when the window could open for a race up in Canada. So maybe that's what he's talking about.
And also just that phrasing, venues, not new racetracks, that could mean anything.
A street race in Canada. Oh, by the way, the Fantasy League is full now.
That didn't take long. Oof.
No. Talladega Super Speedway is going to get some major upgrades, and I'll be honest, anyone who's actually been to Talladega, it needs it. So that should be really interesting. That will stick out like a diamond in the middle of just like a manure bath, because you look at the entire area around it compared to if they like Daytona Rising this thing.
Oh my God.
It'll be crazy how different it'll look compared to the surrounding everything. Celsius has joined 2311, and they'll be sponsoring Corey Heim for a race this year.
Which weird fun fact. I know there's weird tie-ins, but you've got the Monster Energy car with Riley Herbst. That's Monster Energy. Coca-Cola is a big partner there. Celsius, I looked it up. Pepsi is a big partner there. So internally now, 2311 is two timing with both Pepsi and Coca-Cola in separate rooms. A little weird, a little strange, but hey, all right, cool for Heim. Double dipping. Yeah, sure.
keep it in that vein. NASCAR yesterday set the world record for the loudest billboard ad. And that was in New York with just a NASCAR engine in a billboard at 133.7 decibels. Again, the world record now for loudest billboard. I didn't even know that was a thing. But you know what? That's how you get it out. That's how you get the brand out there in interesting and fun ways that I feel like if anyone's pissed off about that, you're just looking to be pissed off at this point, because I think that's pretty damn cool.
133, you said?
133.7, yes.
I got something to add that after the lightning round.
And then just one last thing. Next week, we'll be live on my channel back at the normal time. Well, for the first time in a month, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So we can finally have a set schedule. But that is the lightning round.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. We've got some.
Oh, never mind. I had something to add, but don't worry about it.
Oh, I was already into my transition. I'm sorry. Once I start a transition, once I start a segue, it's hard to stop me. You know all about this. I'm like a freight train going down.
It's like stopping Paul Blart's.
I had something to add, but go ahead.
Okay. Apologies. Where were we? Headlines. We've got some interesting headlines to talk about here, this next portion of the show. First up, I don't know if we have a photo of this on the in the stream we can throw up.
I do. Give me a second to get us in position to show it.
Talking about vague posting. Speaking of vague posting, NASCAR posted this image right here, which I think we've increased the brightness a bit to try and get a better view. But I think the caption, if I recall, was "Something cool is coming tomorrow." And this is what they posted: a race car, an oddly shaped race car under a dark sheet. Something will be unveiled tomorrow, apparently.
It's the Gen 8!
Trying to figure out what it is. It's an odd shape for sure. I think best guess, and based on what I've seen as far as the media calendar for this weekend, this is going to be some sort of electric vehicle for one of the OEMs. I don't know that it's going to, be part of a new electric racing series or anything. It may just be another prototype, just an OEM, brand play. But even in this image, it looks like you can kind of see like a big wing on the back to kind of match the old electric prototype. Unless the image is still low res. Is it?
I've been in this building before, and I know where that's at. And like it's like this large, almost like hallway corridor. I figured until we get it, what do you call it? Confirmed. We might as well recklessly speculate because everyone was talking about this as well.
Maybe like, it's a Charger.
What if it's Dodge? They did it last year with the Ram. I have a feeling it's going to be some sort of EV prototype, honestly, though, as much as I want it to be.
It looks too tall to be a Cup Series car, in my opinion. Which makes me think more like think the things we've seen of the electric car was more like a hatchback style car, anyways.
Yeah, it seems the shape. Really, just look at how like the hood is sort of sloped down. It's shaped like the electric prototype more so than
It's a
a modern
Cybertruck.
NASCAR Cup Series car. Yeah, it kind of does look like a Cybertruck in the front. We'll see. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. Again, I've seen on the Daytona media schedule, at least the original schedule they sent out, there was like a Chevy EV announcement tomorrow afternoon. I don't know if that's changed. I would assume that's probably what this is, but I don't know. And I don't know what else it would like. Are they ever going to actually race these things? They've been teasing them for 2 or 3 years now. Are they ever actually going to say, "Hey, let's put 5 of them on track and beating and bang for 20 minutes. Let's see what happens. How long until they run out of charge? Let's just
Kind of like
go for it."
the revamped IROC. It's there, but that's just a car show, basically.
Dachshund.
Yeah.
Dachshund. We got Dachshund here. See, no one cares.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what that is. I doubt it's going to be Dodge or anything. But I feel like if and when, I think it's when at this point, when Dodge announces their Cup Series return, there will be much more fanfare than just one vague teaser the night before. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'd keep it as under wraps as possible, but I feel like there'd be a little more build up to that.
If they were gonna, if Dodge is to come in next year, like they keep claiming they're going to, I feel like it would be either the 600 or Michigan that they would announce it. Like either the biggest race
like
they
around
can
Michigan
in that time,
yeah.
or the hometown race for all
Sure.
the automakers.
Yeah.
Like they did with the Ram body
truck
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
I think you're right.
If they go ahead and put the word out now, though, they can start getting some serious test session opportunities to get the car up to the speed they need it to be at for next year too.
It'd be more about sponsorship too. I feel like the earlier you put it out there, hey, we are officially coming to Cup next year. Partner with us. Maybe that would be
Colleague
reason to do it.
be like, you already got our pre-order in, right? Yep. See you there.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll find out tomorrow, presumably what is under that curtain, Wizard of Oz style, I suppose. Some other big news broke just before qualifying today. Kyle Larson was going to be a free agent after this season. I think everyone assumed he and Hendrick would find a way to stick together. Did not take long. Today they announced a 5-year extension. Larson is now signed through 2031. Wow. That is including this coming season. That's 6 more seasons in the 5 for Kyle Larson. Jarrett, your reaction to the now 2-time champion getting this huge deal?
I mean, he's Kyle Larson. At this point, he can stay in that car as long as he wants. He's not, I mean, if last year was seen as a down year and he won the championship and he scored the most points out of anybody. So if that is anything to base this signing off of, but to make sure that he is the longest signed driver in the Cup Series now. Yeah. After the news broke, and we'll talk about it in a moment, of Carson Hocevar being the longest signed driver in the Cup Series for a week. Like, to me, that's just Hendrick solidifying, we got our franchise guy. We're going to stick with him. We're just going to keep building on this. Cliff Daniels, it was announced, also signed an extension.
Yes.
It's a no-brainer. You don't let a blue chipper like him go. On
winningest driver crew chief combo in the next gen car era. I am going to ask this question real quick, and then Danny, I'll turn it over to you. I just put this question in the chat. Larson will be 38 years old when this contract is actually might be 39. I may have
39. He turns 34 in July this year.
He will be 39 years old when this contract ends. My question is this his final full-time Cup Series contract? Does he retire to go race dirt? What do you think?
I think a lot of it depends on how many championships he's at.
Championships, race
It'd
wins.
be easier to string them together in this system. That's if you're a top tier guy. Not easier, I don't think it's the right word, but it would be more realistic, I should say. Honestly,
Chat's kind of split. Chat right now, I'm 59% say no. So yeah, most think he'll keep racing, and that's probably where I would lean to.
But he's talked about after his NASCAR career, he doesn't just want to do dirt. He wants to do IndyCar. He wants to do like drag racing. He wants to do anything he can get it, his hands on for a wheel. Like he wants to go the Tony Stewart route. So it's like, you can only do this for so long at a competitive level.
Do you guys see
obviously there's an
Do you
option.
guys see who posted the big eyes going up the chat right now?
We've got the official NASCAR YouTube channel in the chat. NASCAR, what do you think? Do you think Larson will keep racing full time after 2031?
They're like, I hope so. We like
What do
having
you
him
think?
here.
What do you think, Jim France? Let us know. Good to see you at NASCAR.
It might be, man. It might be. It's not probably going to be the popular line of thought going forward, but Kyle Larson is not. He's not the normal linear kind of NASCAR driver. He is one of one. So I wouldn't be surprised either way.
In my head, Larson was still 30, 31. So when I just looked up that he's 33, I'm like, oh gosh, we are probably in the back half of his Cup Series career at the very least. So
isn't this year 13 in Cup? Because he was a rookie in 14.
Yeah, 2014. Yeah, you're right.
I made a realization. Chase Elliott is in his 10th Cup Series season.
Jeez.
Blaney is in his 11th.
I feel so damn old.
or maybe no, I guess actually Chase Elliott's in his 11th because he's completed 10. He's in his 11th.
Yeah, Blaney, Elliott,
man,
are in their 11th. Jones is in his 10th.
They were talking about that on the broadcast. Harvick and Boyer were like, Harvick's like, he hasn't been there that long, and Boyer's like, yeah, he has.
Decade. Wow. And thank you, NASCAR says, happy Daytona weekend. Yes, happy Daytona weekends all around in the chat. I hope Kyle Larson races into his 40s. I mean, I assume he'll still be very, very competitive. But for the next 5 years, they will be a force to be reckoned with. No doubt in my mind whatsoever. You alluded to it earlier, Jarrett. Larson is not the only Cup Series driver to sign a massive contract. See, I think the Larson-Hendrick deal, no-brainer, right? Rick Hendrick likes him. HendrickCars.com is happy with the deal. Larson's having success. Cliff Daniels is having success. No-brainer. No-brainer. This one, there's a little more intrigue. Carson Hocevar signed a multi-year, long-term contract extension with Spire Motorsports that they say goes into the next decade. So presumably through at least 2030, maybe also through 2031. Keep in mind, 2031 is when the current TV contract will be up, and presumably everything will need to be renegotiated again. So maybe it's safe to assume Hocevar's deal is through 2031 as well. Either way, long-term deal for Carson. This one's interesting, not because Carson's not talented, but while Larson's won a ton of races, Carson has not won a race. Spire Motorsports is an ascending team, but they're not a super team like Hendrick Motorsports. Is this, Jarrett, is this the right decision for both parties involved to lock each other together for at least the next 5 or 6 years?
I'm going to be a complete hypocrite here because I hate the stick and ball comparisons.
Oh boy.
But this is the equivalent of signing your rookie quarterback to that 5-year deal and taking the chance. And I think they are, because there's, for all the faults Carson Hocevar has with over-aggression, with putting himself in bad positions, different things like that. On the flip side, the upside of his talent, raw talent alone, and what he can prove and show out there. I mean, look back last year, Nashville, Michigan, Charlotte, Bristol. There's probably 3 or 4 others that I didn't even list, where he was running top 5 and was running up with the elite of the Cup Series. And I personally think this is the right move because I believe in that upside. But Spire, I think, is going with the mentality that by 2030, we're going to be taken seriously on another level. We are for real. Jordan Bianchi talked about it. They want to go big game hunting in silly season this year. There's so many different drivers still available out there. We all knew that, again, an elite team having a blue chipper like Kyle Larson let go is never going to happen. But there's been talk about Tyler Reddick, Kyle Busch, maybe there's some others floated out there. I think this is Spire being like, we're going to build upon this guy while we bring others in and just sort of build around him. That's what it feels like to me, is building around him.
Danny, have you seen enough from Hocevar so far to feel like he's a guy you can and should build around in the Cup Series?
Definitely. I'm more surprised that Hocevar was just so willing to kind of lock on a lot of his potential to this team, especially for that long. Seeing him sign on for that many years of Spire, seeing Larson sign on for as long as he has now, really at this point, I'm starting to wonder, like, okay, what is Hendrick's plan here for everybody? Because I was kind of thinking, no offense to Bowman, I was thinking Hocevar seemed like a perfect candidate to take that ride over, more so than like an unproven Corey Day or Raja Karuv or someone like that. And now I'm starting to wonder, hey, if they've just locked in Larson for that long, are we closer than we think to seeing like a 1 to 2 year extension for Alex Bowman at this point? Because with the way things are set up now, if they can, they have their, I say, good guys. There's always a fourth Hendrick car. Just historically, there's always been the fourth one that's off the pace compared to the other ones. Does this lead into him basically, if they get him, a little cheaper than the other guys, they get allied, they're not going nowhere, does it just make sense to probably keep him then at that point?
It could. It's definitely an exciting young driver off the market for the time being. That is for sure. To go back to your analogy earlier, Jarrett, yes, they're paying him early, but the benefit of paying Carson Hocevar early is you get him on a team-friendly deal, I'm assuming. I imagine this is a very team-friendly contract over the next 5 years. I think Hocevar's got the talent to build around. I think Spire makes sense why they want to do it. I think Jeff Dickerson personally, and if you watch the Rising documentary, you really see the father-son relationship he has with Hocevar. He loves him, but he also, Carson drives him crazy sometimes. But I think he feels responsible for Carson's Cup Series career at this point, and Hocevar does feel like he's on the cusp of doing great things. So I get why Spire might want to make this deal. Like you said, Jarrett, they still have room with their other contracts to go chase if they want a Kyle Busch. They could go get Kyle Busch next year if they really want to. They could go get, they could potentially go sign other big free agents. TWG Global, who's now majority stakeholder. They just spent $10 billion on the Lakers. So they have money. They're throwing it around. They're making huge splashes across professional sports. We'll see what happens going forward. If you're Carson Hocevar, I'll let you go a second, Jared. If you're Carson Hocevar, though, it's like, yeah, you run the risk. You could test free agency in the next year or two if before you sign this contract, but there's no guarantee a better seat is out there. And I think when you have a stable, fairly competitive Cup Series seat, and my take is don't take that for granted. Like that we've seen, I think about Matt DiBenedetto, who 5 years ago, his career was going like this. Oh my gosh, he was the lovable start and park guy who had some amazing runs, gets that opportunity with Levine Family Racing, then gets a Team Penske aligned car with the Wood Brothers, makes the playoffs with the Wood Brothers. He is going like this. And then where is Matt DiBenedetto now? I don't even know. Where is he? Where is Matt DiBenedetto? So, if you don't come from money, if you don't have a ton of factory support, which I don't know that Carson Hocevar has either of those things, if you get a long-term stable Cup Series job, you take it. And I think, and I think he's betting on this team building themselves into something better. So I think it makes sense why both sides agreed to this, but it was a little surprising they locked each other up for so long. Sorry, Jared, what were you going to say?
So I was looking up, and you were talking about Matt DiBenedetto 5 years ago. Where was he? Where was he then compared to now? He seemed to be like right on the verge and then breaking through. 5 years ago, where was Spire? I'm going to just read you off their driver lineup in Cup Series for 2021 in no order other than just what Racing Reference has. Justin Allgaier for 2 races, Josh Berry 2 races, Stuart Friesen for a race, Justin Haley for 30 races, Corey LaJoie for 35 races, 1 race apiece as well for Jamie McMurray and Ben Rhodes. In that time, they had 4 top 10s. One of those was McMurray in the Daytona 500, I believe, or
little Jamie baby.
I believe it was a super speedway race though. They had 4 top 10s. Daytona 500. He finished 8th in the 77 car that Carson Hocevar currently resides in. So 4 top 10s in that time, no top 5s. Look at last year. Justin Haley, 1 top 5, 2 top 10s, is the only one whose total season there is under in any number what they did in 2021. Hocevar, 2 top 5s, 9 top 10s. Michael McDowell, 3 top 5s, 6 top 10s. This could, look how far they've come and how far they can go in 5 years in 2030. This could all blow up in their face. When I think of franchise drivers too, I am an avid rewatcher of races on Vodie's channel. And one of the things I picked up on was David Rudiman was nicknamed the franchise by Michael Waltrip Racing because he was going to be the franchise driver. We signed him for this long-term deal.
I mean, for a little bit, he was. So.
He was, but it didn't work out. That could happen here. I personally think Hocevar is better than David Rudiman. I think he's head and shoulders better, not only in just stature alone, but also talent. And
I put him on the
same
potential as like Casey Kane.
I think this is the right move. I think it's the right move.
I think it makes sense. And again, if it doesn't work out, I think Spire's got the money. If they really want to, they can buy out Carson in 3 years and go a different direction if worst comes to worst. But we're all Carson Hocevar fans here. We're hoping that doesn't happen. Quick shout out. I believe it's actually free to read as well. But The Athletic, Jeff Gluck wrote a great piece on this is on Connor Zilich, but he did also do a great piece last year, or at the end of last year, on Carson Hocevar and just how much he loves racing. He's just a fan. Like he'll do the thing where he watches races from the stands. I saw he did that again during the, I believe the LCQ at the Clash last week. He was just in the crowd during the LCQ, freezing with the fans.
The last year I was
in everything this weekend too.
Yeah, he's the only one. And the last year I was in Kansas in 24, I looked over at one point because I like to sit way at the top during the truck races, or it might not have been last. One of the years I was there last. I look over during one of these like truck race or O'Reilly race or whatever, and I look over and Carson Hocevar sitting there. I'm like, hey,
just vibing.
And he's just like, hey. Because that's just how Carson Hocevar is. He's just a normal dude. I got to say, though, with the Spire conversation, kind of shifting to what Jordan Bianchi talked about, the big game hunting side of it. If they somehow were to pry Tyler Reddick from 2311, I am buying all of the Spire stock at that point. I'm a believer at that point that they're going to go to that next level because I think Tyler Reddick is a next level driver.
Because he left Chevrolet in a halfway decent rising RCR program at the time to take a risk of Toyota and 2311 there, and overall it paid off for the most part. If he's willing to go back away from Toyota into Chevy with a team that seems riskier, there's something there.
Bianchi, I trust as one of, if not the best at silly season sleuthing, and he would not drop Tyler Reddick as a name if he was not at least a possibility. He wouldn't recklessly speculate that far.
It's kind of appropriate looking back on it now that Spire took the Furniture Row font because they've low-key always been playing the long game of being the next Furniture Row.
Yeah, I think Tyler Reddick's name comes up because he is the best free agent available this year. I still think it's most likely he returns to 2311 Racing. If he ends up at Spire, I doubt it's a directional thing as much as it is they offered a ton of money. I mean, That's the thing is it's believable because Spire has already made a few big splashes. I mean, promoting Carson Hocevar as early as they did was a bit surprising. They eventually let go of their original franchise centerpiece, Corey LaJoie. They let him go. They brought Michael McDowell in on a multi-year deal, pried him away from front row. We weren't sure if that was possible. I mean, they went and got Rodney Childers. And then when that didn't work out, they weren't afraid to cut bait and 3 months in. So Spire's made big moves. They've taken some big swings. So yeah, the idea of a Reddick being on their radar, they'd absolutely, if they're able to, they'll absolutely talk to him. But I'd be surprised if Reddick leaves his current situation. He almost won a championship in this car 2 years ago. Kyle Busch is the more interesting name that's also come up because he's maybe arguably the second best free agent available this cycle. He is 40. I think he's 40 now. He'll be 41 next year. So I don't know how much value does a 41-year-old potentially still long winless streak Kyle Busch bring? Maybe he brings a lot to a team like Spire. He would make a splash for sure.
Thing is, he's always had a good relationship to people at Spire. He sold his truck team to them, for crying out loud. I mean,
he's making 8 starts in the 7 this year with a HendrickCars.com sponsorship. So Kyle Busch is playing all different stuff.
And hey, thank goodness he's in the 7 with the Prime sponsorship because they want to stick him that 07 every time last year, and that thing was just slow compared to the 7 for some reason.
The other part with the Spire thing is like, and again, I don't think it's like inked in just yet, but Chris Gabehart stuff too. I mean, you
Mm,
pride
yeah.
somebody, and I know there's a little bit of disgruntlement, probably more than a little
Yeah,
bit.
maybe not confirmed yet, but yeah, that seems like that's where he's heading. Yeah.
Spire has not been conventional in just about anything they do as a NASCAR team since they've come in, whether it be how they, get into the sport initially, how they get their first win, what they do with driver and personnel. I don't think they get Reddick, but I'm not willing to rule it out until it's completely ruled out and somebody else signs him or he re-signs. I personally think if anyone, the only person that could replace Alex Bowman in the 48 and be an upgrade would be Tyler Reddick. Like Hendrick
I
would be a
agree.
better bet than Spire at this point. But Spire at this, it is the most intriguing team in NASCAR by a wide margin right now to me because of what directions it could go.
And basically, if Reddick does take the 48, I think that's just lines up for Bowman to step into Spire equipment at that point.
Which isn't bad equipment either.
No.
It's getting better.
Before we move on, I forgot to end this poll sooner. Wrapping up our Carson Hocevar discussion, I asked the chat, will Hocevar win a cup race this season? 79% of y'all say yes. All right, we'll see. Good stuff there. A couple more quick headlines before we move on. Nick Sanchez, after losing his O'Reilly Series ride right before Christmas, suddenly now has landed with AM Racing, who a few weeks ago thought they were selling their O'Reilly team to Sigma Performance and ARCA Group. That fell through. Sanchez's old deal fell through, so now they found each other. Nick Sanchez will drive the AM Racing number 25 Ford this year. Quick thoughts, gentlemen. I mean, this car made the chase last year with Harrison Burton, but also I think it's the only Ford team. It's one of only like 2 Ford teams still in the series. I don't know how good their stuff will be this year. What do you think?
I think Sanchez deserved a better just all around offseason and opportunity in general. I think this is a last chance. Just get into some ride for the season.
Yeah, feels very much last second. He's not a bad racer by any means. We saw what he could do in the truck series. And perhaps next year there may be a chance for him to work out things better ahead of time, maybe reset, maybe depending on what happens with Colleague and their Ram lineup, maybe something can open up to get him back in the truck series or whatever. Them per se, or someone else could open up an opportunity. Maybe a better Xfinity opportunity comes up. Not Xfinity, O'Reilly. Got to get used to that. But maybe something else will open up for next year. But again, it just really feels last minute.
Yeah, it's like you guys said, we need each other. This is it. This way this works out. I hope it works out because I agree. Sanchez, he's a proven winner in trucks, and O'Reilly, hopefully he has a decent season. And
he's somebody that if anything ever happens that Jesse Love gets an opportunity to move up, I would love to see Sanchez. He drove number 2 in trucks. I'd love to see him get a chance of like an RCR in 2 or something like that.
Love this comment on screen from CJD, tuning in from Melbourne, Australia. Excited to watch the Daytona 500. That's awesome to see and hear. I don't know what time the Daytona 500 is in Australia, but glad you'll be watching. That's awesome.
I can actually, I was just looking up the time calculator for Melbourne.
Oh, yeah.
So let's see if it's 3:06 over there. He's in the future. It's Thursday there.
3 p.m., right?
PM.
Middle of the afternoon.
Tell us who won the duel.
That's not that far ahead.
Last thing, and I've not listened to Hauler Talk, but I did see this headline this week that according to Hauler Talk, it sounds like Homestead Miami will likely be the season finale next season as well. So the talk of rotating venues doesn't sound like that's an every year thing, which, yeah, I'm okay if they do like 2-2-2. That's fair. Little continuity is okay.
They just gave it back to us. No need to take it away that fast.
That's true. Like if they were to take it away, we'd be announcing like think of it this way. They'd be announcing the schedule in like August. We wouldn't even have gotten the Homestead finale yet, and they'd already be announcing that it's leaving. You know what I mean? Like that would be a weird deal. Yeah, you can put it in the 48. Look at
48.
The 58. Who's the 58? I even someone was a typo.
I want to keep it there at least 2 years. I would think 3 is like the full cycle of a track in modern NASCAR scheduling.
Well, yeah, you had Chicago straight course, Bristol dirt,
LA
Coliseum.
Yeah,
we'll see if Bowman Gray gets a third year.
3 years.
What one?
Did Daytona and Indy Road Course get 3 years?
Daytona
was-
didn't.
Daytona Road Course, remember in 21, it was like the Clash, and then it was also like the second points race of the
Yeah.
year.
So it
Yeah.
got, and it was in the 2020 schedule, but it wasn't in 22. But Indy Road Course was 21, 22, 23, 24, I want to say. I think that was
Okay,
4
so they
years.
just went past it then.
But it's like, we'll get there when we get there. Give me Homestead for as long as
Yeah.
I can get it.
Yep, good stuff. Those were the headlines for tonight's show. Appreciate y'all sticking with us. We've got our fun segments on deck.
Fun.
We'll start with our weekly prediction segment. Every single week, each host makes 2 NASCAR, motorsports, or show-related predictions. We keep track. I should say Jarrett keeps track and holds us accountable every week. We try to keep our predictions relatively contained. Let's take a look at our percentages thus far. Who is off to a hot start? Oh, we're starting with just who actually got the prediction.
Accountability.
Okay, accountability. That's what we got to do. Accountability. I'll gladly take accountability for being 100% accurate this week. I predicted Briscoe would once again start on the front row. He did. Awesome. Thanks, Chase. Danny 1 for 3 predicted that Allgaier would make his way into the 500. He did, though he also predicted Chevy would sweep the front row. They did not. And he predicted that in 2025 or 2026, Will Ferrell will play his character of Ricky Bobby in a Super Bowl commercial.
They lost
did not
out on a
happen.
good opportunity.
Last week, there were a lot of nostalgia baiting commercials out there, old actors playing old roles. No Will Ferrell, Ricky Bobby, unfortunately. Jarrett, his only prediction that came off the board was that a NASCAR driver will be shown on screen attending the Super Bowl. We did get a NASCAR driver in a commercial,
If
but
you
nobody
just
at
if
the
you
stadium.
just said that,
Yeah, but yeah, I wanted to be concise.
Yeah. So if we look at our season prediction percentages thus far, I'm off to a hot start, 66%. Danny is at 42% right. Jarrett, 33%, still early. If we look at the 3 years we've been doing this, Jarrett is first place with 36% correct. I'm at 32. Danny and I are both at 32%. Danny slightly ahead in the second spot.
I hate that, we're only showing the percentages here because actually, Eric, you and I were both a meme number. We've each gotten 67 correct. The only difference is I have got 67 out of 205 off the board. You are 67 out of 206 off the board. That is the difference.
That is insane how close we are.
And that's like, again, we're going into the 3rd year of a sample size. So,
wow. Well, let's add to it. Let's see if we can match each other this week. Who goes first? I go first? Okay.
yeah, you're leading.
My first one will be Daytona related. We haven't talked trucks yet. We will talk about the truck race in a few moments. My first prediction is that 2 or more Ram trucks will score top 10s at Daytona. Good drafters. They got Justin Haley, Tony Stewart. Who's next?
My first one says that sadly, rain will interrupt the Daytona 500 in some capacity. I'm not saying that it's going to be like rained out, rain delayed, rain in the middle of it. Rain will impact it in some capacity on Sunday, I'm afraid.
I guess I'll go on the flip side of that. I think rain will not impact a majority of the Daytona 500. I think we'll get
a majority. What does that mean?
I will
that's why I just said
say
it in a capacity. I didn't want to put a timestamp on that.
I'll say we'll get past halfway without rain.
Okay.
I think based on a lot of the advanced radars, it looks like it looks like it's slowing down. And based on what we've heard from people that are meteorologists talking about it, if it slows down, we might be racing to the end, possibly getting rain or not. We'd be right on that edge. So I think
you and I could be right on the same thing because I just say rain will happen anytime. You are saying specifically
we'll
the
get past
first half will not have rain.
Yeah, we'll get past halfway without rain. That's my prediction.
All right. Then my final prediction. Yeah, okay. I forgot I wrote this one down. This one was inspired by what happened a little over a week ago, roughly a week ago now, with what happened at the end of the Bowman Gray Clash, with the race going well over its Fox TV window, being pushed to FS2 for the Masked Singer. My prediction is that before the end of 2027, a NASCAR or IndyCar driver will appear on the Masked Singer on
Ooh,
I
Fox.
like that.
Who would it be? Who's got the best pipes?
Wait, do they have
in
to
the
be?
garage?
Do they have to be a current driver or could a retired driver?
Could be Michael Waltrip. I feel like he might be the most likely. Could be anyone. Just has to be
feel like
a driver.
Photogenically, they would put somebody like Joseph Newgarden.
See, I put IndyCar in there as well because I'm like Fox promoting the hell out of that.
He's been the face of their marketing. Like every year, it's like him and Pillow are the two that you see the most, and obviously obvious reasons. But I could totally see him being the one that they put on there just for the cross promotion. Fox is great at cross promotion when they promote events.
Yeah, who's likely to even be a halfway decent singer too out of the
Chat
two
says
sports?
Gragson, Hocevar, Kyle Petty. Oh, he does sing. Kyle Petty sings. Could be Kyle Petty.
Ryan Blaney. He can sing metal.
Oh, just him up there dressed like a robot or something like that, singing metal.
This the thing is like I don't know if I'm ready to see like a NASCAR driver do the mainstream dress as the mainstream equivalent of a furry on national television.
Diecast Countdown in the chat said maybe this is why MTJ is not in the 500 this year. Martin Truex Jr., the Masked Singer. Wow.
They dress him up as a fish.
That's a hint.
Danny, I think you're up.
Yeah, for my next one, I'm going to say there's going to be at least 2 flips or more that happens this weekend across the 4 series.
Didn't you make this one in a weekend last year?
Danny is doom and gloom this week.
Probably.
Rain and crazy crashes. My gosh.
But I mean, I could say like a truck going up and then a Xfinity car roll over or something like that.
Yeah, just a casual 13 flip rotation.
Every ARCA car goes in the air.
We got a floater. I'll be Mr. Positive then. I think the Daytona 500 finishes under green.
Oh, I thought about making that prediction.
Yeah,
I mean that's it. I want to be bold. I don't want to do layups this year, at least as much as I can. Maybe they'll bite me in the ass.
I like it. I love it. Good stuff, gentlemen. Chat now. They don't really get to play along on this next one. They get to poke fun at our expense on this next one. It's time for Random Driver of the Week.
Random driver.
For those who don't know, Jarrett here has selected a random driver from throughout NASCAR history and will give us clues one at a time. Danny and I have to try to guess what driver Jarrett is hinting at. We only get 3 guesses, so we can't just start rapid fire, blind firing into the abyss. We have to be methodical. We also have to turn the chat off for the next few minutes. No cheating, so Scout's honor here. Going to hide the chat. I promise I won't get it on the first clue this week. I promise.
Yeah, then going back to that, Eric has gotten 2 in a row. He had Ryan and Paul Newman correct, so he leads 35-34 over Danny. Danny in the last 5 got Milka Duno, Mike Bliss, and Paul Menard.
Wait, before you give us our first clue, I'm going to try to get it with 0 clues.
Oh my God.
Oh God, you did say you wouldn't do it in 1, so what you got?
Keith McGee.
Correct.
I'm kidding.
Whoa!
No, I'm kidding.
Tony Stewart.
Okay, I burned one of my guesses. I only have 2 left.
Wait, was Tony Stewart a guest too, Danny?
No, honestly, I just say give us. Don't even count those. We're just being stupid at that point.
Or we could make it more interesting and we count both of them, and now it's just 2 for both of you guys.
You can definitely count. I'll let Danny keep his 3. You can count mine though. I'm down to 2. I rarely use them.
You were being stupid. I'm not counting that either.
If it had been Keith McGee, I was gonna take the dub and run. Just saying.
No, we're just being stupid. Let's actually do it.
Okay, all right.
None of us have tweeted about this random driver. So
okay. Wait, I forgot to hide the chat. Okay, I just did. Sorry.
This random driver started racing actually after building an engine for a local racer in this person's hometown. Then that driver offered our random driver a chance to drive said car.
So this random driver drove a car with an engine he built
for another person.
For another random driver. We got to get both random drivers.
This is too much.
We don't do double points.
Okay.
This random driver also won over 350 NASCAR sanctioned events.
Whoa.
Okay. Wow.
This random driver made 51 career cup starts with 6 top 5s and 16 top 10s in that span of time.
Okay.
16 top 10s. How many top 5s?
6.
Not terrible.
This random driver's best cup finish was a second place finish in his first career cup start. So started off in a pretty good clip.
Peaked early.
This random driver's first cup start was actually as a replacement driver for Fireball Roberts.
That's a fun fact.
This random driver's first start was also one of the first scoring errors in NASCAR history. The flagman had waved the white flag over our random driver, but he was running second. Once it was corrected, the hometown crowd rioted because they were behind this random driver. They threw bottles and rocks onto the racetrack at the officials.
That feels like a huge hint. Well, I'm a little confused. I'm still a little lot. It's not Wendell Scott, is it?
Wendell Scott, you say? Is that a guess?
Yeah, I'll throw that out there.
Wendell Scott.
Yeah, I'm a little confused.
See, I was also thinking about that because that sounded just like, the story of the win that got took away from him.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I don't know, just piecing things together. Okay, keep going.
And him being an engine builder, starting out, that would have kind of made sense too.
Mark Martin referred to this random driver as, quote, a total badass.
Okay.
Did he say that on our show? I feel like I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
No, not about this random driver. I do have the numbers and OEM. Which one would you want first?
Numbers might help.
Sure.
All right. Eric, make sure you have ink in that pen.
Let's hope so. Oh God. Okay.
All right.
Try.
6, 8, 16, 17, 21, 22, 31, 54, 59, 70, 73, 75, 88, 91, and 188.
There's a lot of Roush numbers in there, and you mentioned Mark Martin. I'm not trying to give Danny extra hints here, but like I'm just throwing that out
I
there.
agree. That's
Well, would you like the manufacturers driven?
Sure.
Chevrolet, Ford, Dodge, Pontiac, and Oldsmobile.
I love it when that clue doesn't help at all.
This random driver also raced for both Petty Enterprises and the Wood Brothers.
John
like
Andretti?
Done that though?
John Andretti. Is that a guess?
Oh, that's my final guess. Sure. No.
I knew
There's
that was
Eric.
wrong the minute I didn't say 43 on there.
Oh,
Eric
shoot. You're
loses.
right. Oh, wait, what was
All
the
right.
Petty Enterprises car?
I mean, you can look at the chat now if you'd like.
What other numbers do they have? I guess. Okay.
This random driver was one of the first in the sportsman division to have multiple cars set up for different track types. So some cars for asphalt, others for dirt. So a bit of a pioneer in that regard.
I see chat. I don't know that I would have got. I was not thinking that way.
This random driver left NASCAR in 1969 to race at unsanctioned tracks such as Concord and Metrolina Speedway. This random driver once actually moved his own son out of the way to win a race.
Diabolical.
Wow.
And you're telling me Mark Martin liked this guy?
Yeah. So he was a badass. The last throwback scheme to this random driver was ran in 2020. Though it wasn't at Darlington.
That's interesting.
This random driver has been inducted into the NMPA Hall of Fame, International Motorsports Hall of Fame, National Dirt Late Model Hall of Fame, all of those.
National Dirt Late Model Hall of Fame, NMPA Hall of Fame. And what was the other Hall of Fame?
International Motorsports Hall of Fame.
So someone who's got a good dirt background.
Is that the one in Talladega?
so.
International Motorsports Hall of Fame.
Dale Jr. and Martin Truex Jr. both ran throwbacks to this random driver. I have one more, or actually two more clues.
So, man, drum roll.
This random driver passed away at the age of 45.
Oh, dang.
And this random driver is part of NASCAR's 50 and 75 greatest drivers list.
Is it Ralph Earnhardt?
Correct.
Well
Yes, it
played. Good job.
Danny back on the board. 35 all. Yeah, Ralph Earnhardt.
I should have had that one.
Surprised you didn't have anything like this actor played him in a movie.
That would have given it away, man. That would have given it away. I couldn't make it that obvious, especially after last week.
The actor who plays J. Jonah Jameson played him in the 3 movie.
Spider-Man. But yeah, so 35 all. All right.
Okay.
Danny's on the board in 26.
As per usual. Well, that was fun.
That makes a lot of sense how many, technical NASCAR wins he has, but not as much at the top levels.
That was a good one, Jarrett. We'll get him next week. I'll be back. Better, faster, stronger than ever.
Be back again, Spider-Man.
It's time now for our race weekend preview, gentlemen. The Daytona 500 has sold out, finally, a few weeks later than in recent years, but they have sold out the Daytona 500 once again. Carson Hocevar, keep an eye on this when we make picks, is the only driver currently expected to race triple duty, trucks, O'Reilly, and Cup. Put him in an ARCA car just for funsies. Why not? He's also been out on New Smyrna. I know he raced super late model, at least last night. I don't know about today. We've talked about this. There are several open drivers still vying for the final 2 spots. Now, in the O'Reilly series, there are 4 drivers that will go home. There are 4 more drivers than there are spots. A few notables that are in this race. Natalie Decker is back. She's in the 35 for Joey Gase. Hocevar in the Young's 42. Daniel Dye in a second AM racing car. The truck series is especially interesting. Anywhere from 4 to 8 trucks could go home. Some of the Ram drivers have the extra security blanket of this new OEM provisional that could allow them to make the field as extra entries up to 40. But some notables in this field include Cletus McFarland, Michael McDowell, Minnie Tyrell is the 4th full-time Ram colleague driver. Tony Stewart is back. He's running this race. Tony Breidinger is now with Rackley War. Travis Pastrana is in this race, or is attempting to qualify. Ricky Stenhouse is in this race. John Hunter Nemechek, Corey LaJoy, Carson Hocevar. Again, a lot of Cup drivers, a couple of Daytona 500 wins mixed in there, and then a Hall of Famer of Tony Stewart as well.
What's Minnie Tyrell's racing background other than the winning the show? Because he don't even have a racing reference page. I tried to look him up.
He was most recently Cars Tour for a few years. He won a few late model stock races, I believe, last year.
Okay. I just didn't know where he came from. Just all of a sudden, boom, here's Minnie Tyrell. Oh, okay. He's
pretty young. I think he's only like 21 years old. So he's still like in that potential prospect stage of his career. Anyway, race information. The truck series, we'll start with the duels. Duels are tomorrow night. The America 250 duels at Daytona, both are 60 laps. They begin at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow on FS1. You can also listen on MRN and Sirius XM. Bubba Wallace and Austin Cindric won their duels a year ago. On Friday night, the Craftsman Truck Series race, the Fresh from Florida 250. It's a 100-lap race. 20, 20, 60 are the stage breakdowns. Those first 2 stages are always so short. FS1, NRN, Sirius XM, Corey Heim is the defending winner. He is not on the entry list this time around. Then the O'Reilly race, Saturday evening, is the United Rentals 300, 120 laps, 30, 30, 60 are the stage breakdowns. It's a 5 p.m. Eastern start on the CW, also MRN, Sirius XM. Jesse Love, defending champion, defending Daytona winner in that race. And then the Daytona 500 scheduled for Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. I believe green flag will actually be just after 3 p.m. Eastern. It's a 200 lap race, 65, 65, 70. NASCAR not tweaking the stage lengths, so we're still going to see some amount of fuel saving and strategy. Race will be on Big Fox, MRN, Sirius. William Byron trying to be the first driver to win 3 straight Daytona 500s. We'll see if he can get it done. We have the weekend weather report. Danny, do you have any notes from friend of the show here to share on this front?
I do actually. With WSAV out of Savannah, Georgia, meteorologist Jeff Vork has sent in his prediction forecast, whatever you want to call it. He said his thoughts on this weekend weather is that some passing light showers will be possible tomorrow afternoon into the evening that may interfere with the duels. He said Friday and Saturday are looking dry, but can't rule out a spotty sprinkle because, well, it is Daytona. Sunday, he says there's 2 schools of thought and scenarios. Faster scenario is that the European model, which would be more similar to 2021 and last year, but the difficulty would be lingering showers. So more like a faster, like shower goes through and then you're good for the evening. He said the slower is that the GFS and Icon forecast, it says it would come in later but slower. It may bring the racing to the rain scenario or allow us enough of a window to finish the race. Both scenarios say that the area will dry out by Monday afternoon.
Well, I don't know which theory I like more, the one where we get the race started on time, but maybe not all the way finished, or if the one where we might race late into the evening.
I'm kind of more okay with like what he's saying last year in 2021, the rain happens, just does its thing, and we can still race that night.
That would be best case. I agree. Hopefully get a green flag finish, which would help one of Jarrett's predictions. Pick points. We've done one race, the Clash. It was weird. It was wet. It was wacky. Danny B came out on top. Jarrett is 2 points back. Chat, your pick. You're -4 points back. I'm -6. Goodness gracious. Got to get out of the basement here early. It's time to make our Daytona 500, Daytona weekend picks. We'll make picks for trucks, O'Reilly, and Cup. Chat, you get to join us here. You guys get to make picks as well. We can't pick the same driver, though, so we go in reverse order of the standings, which means I'm getting to pick up some of the draft here. I get the first pick.
I always start at the top, but I inevitably end up in the basement somehow.
I get first pick. This is great pressure. Honestly, this is great pressure. I have us torn between 5 drivers for the Truck Series race. It's a stacked field. I even consider Tony Stewart's not one of my 5, but I seriously considered even putting Tony in.
You only need 1 pick.
I wrote them all down because I wasn't sure. I wanted to see how the night felt when we got to this point. You know what? Screw it. Call me crazy. This truck crossed the finish line first last year, failed tech. Corey LaJoy is a pretty good super speedway racer. I'll take Corey LaJoy in the 75.
Chat's going with, it looks.
They're going Cletus.
Wait, are they seriously?
I'm seeing a ton of 4s. I'm trying to make sure they're
25.
I can pull it real quick because I'm trying to make sure they're not duplicates.
I don't know. Well, yeah, there's a lot of 25, but golly.
I'd make sure that's polled.
There are some chat who was getting mad at them because they're like, no, please don't do this to us.
Cletus McFarland he got approved. He may have slapped the wall at Rockingham on his own, but he got approved.
I saw that.
Okay. I think Tony's pulling ahead.
Hanging it loose out there like a bald eagle.
Sensible.
I'll give it a few more seconds to make sure everyone gets their last second votes in, and then I will be ending the poll. So get your votes in any second. It could expire.
How many years in a row did Tony Stewart win that nationwide series race at Daytona?
It was like
he won like, well, the thing is he won 06, 08, He like
09 for Hendrick.
Yeah, it wasn't like
09.
all in a row, but it was like 3 out of
One-
4 or 4
there
out of
was
5.
a 3 in a row in there, and it was like I think it was like 5 out of 6 years, or like 6 out of
Maybe.
8 years,
Yeah,
or something. It was
for
nuts.
Kevin Harvick.
Stewart's their pick, by the way. 63% of the vote went to Stewart.
It was like for a while at Daytona, 2 things were inevitable. One, what's his name? Drove the 5 Lucas car, would always win ARCA race.
Bobby Gerhart.
Bobby Gerhart. And then Tony Stewart would always win the Nationwide Series race.
This race is so hyped up for all of these different Cup guys and big names. I'm gonna go with the truck regular, Gio Ruggiero.
Oh, I thought about him. He was in my 5. That's interesting. Okay, Danny, who you got?
He's a good pick. I don't think people are gonna be. He's a value pick, man. He's a value pick.
Leaves me with 3 options to choose from here. But I'm going to go with the one I put at number 1 still. Going to go with Carson Hocevar.
Really?
Fair enough.
What's his, what? He's in the 7, right? Or is he in the
77.
77?
He's 77. McDowell in the 7. I thought about Stenhouse too
Yeah.
in the 45.
It was between Stenhouse and Ruggiero for me.
And
Yeah.
I had Stenhouse and Justin Haley as my other 2.
Yeah, I'm just not sure what to make of Ram yet. That's the only reason I stayed away from Ram.
Yeah.
But hey, chat, you're riding with Tony Stewart. Can't blame you for that.
Tony was on my list.
It's time for the now green graphics, the O'Reilly series win pick. Again, I get to start off. I'm not used to this. I get free pick of the field. I feel like there's 2 obvious choices. I'll go with the unpopular one and say Austin Hill does it again.
The big bully.
Indeed.
All right, chat.
I
This
imagine
is gonna
chat
be
will
the
go with his
fastest
teammate.
Number of 2s we ever see.
Yep. It looks like they're going with
They're
Jesse
feeling-
Love.
they're
The
feeling
champ.
love. So I'm gonna go with Justin Allgaier.
Solid.
Danny's stuck in the position I was in like all of last year, where it's like, God bless it, I got to make something out of nothing here. So who you got?
Sheldon Creed.
Sheldon Creed.
Hey, they were good in this race last year, if I remember
He's
correctly.
gonna
Yep.
finally win and he's gonna get it at Daytona.
In a Chevy now. They're now a Chevy
That's
team.
right.
We'll see if that's good or bad. All right. Cup Series. But now before we get to our Cup Series win pick, let's have a little fun. Pick on some folks. Who's our suck pick for the Daytona 500? I guess I get to start things off. Remember when Kyle Larson was like the low-hanging fruit?
Mhm.
I don't feel like we can really say that anymore.
No.
Oh, I hate to pick on this guy, but he already made one mental mistake this week. I'll go Noah Gragson. Sorry, Noah.
There were 2 people I thought you were going to go with on that one. It was Noah or Herbst.
And that's who
No,
the
I'm
chat's
not. We've bullied Herbst enough tonight. Come on.
The chat's like one
Chat's
more
going
hit.
with- Chat's going with Herbst.
Okay, well, all right.
I'm going to go with somebody who I believe in the next gen era, outside of his win, has been statistically one of the worst Daytona and super speedway racers, Austin Dillon.
Yeah, I was looking at his numbers the other day because I was like, Austin Dillon might be sneaky good this year. And I was looking at his plate track numbers. I'm like, ooh, he's got
Yeah.
a lot of stinkers. And how much of that is luck? I don't know. But like, ooh, other than that, yeah, the occasional fluke great run. It's like, oof.
I mean, would he have
Pick.
won that race without the rain taking out 90% of the field?
Yeah. I mean, he won his Daytona 500 with a questionable move on Almirola at the end.
Okay,
so.
I saw a replay of that recently from the head-on view. That looks more like a bad block to me on rewatch.
I don't think it's 100% on either. I think it's kind of 50-50. That's why I always kind of viewed it. Bad deal.
I think you got a bad rap out of that.
I would agree. If anyone's piling on him for that, I would say back off a little.
Side note, and related to that, I thought it was interesting when Austin Dillon went out for his qualifying run. Mike Joy just randomly goes, he refers to him as former 500 pole winner. And I'm like, he won the actual race. Why are you stressing that he won the pole? Like, he's won this actual race.
He's got to save those notes for Sunday. These are his Thursday or his Wednesday notes. I don't know.
But anyways, I'm joining the chat. Herbst, get out of Heim's ride.
Hey, I will defend Riley here. Remember like 2 years ago when he was like in a one-off with Rick Ware, he finished top 10 in the Daytona 500.
He's a good driver.
He
think
had
that's
more to
still-
prove.
I think that's still Riley Herbst's like only career Cup top 10. I could be wrong. All right, Underdog, dark horse picks. Chat's already got Ryan Priest filled up. I see to my right here, so we'll give the chat Ryan Priest. My dark horse, my underdog pick. I don't think I can say Brad Keselowski. I looked at the odds. He's still got like the 7th best odds, even with a broken leg, walking around with a pimp cane in the garage. So I don't think I can go Brad Keselowski. I'll have to go a little more outside the box. Oh, I'll go McDowell. Spire.
Everyone calling him a pimp, and all I can think of is the Boondocks. The Navy is a pimp. Nave Slickback. I say the whole thing. I'm gonna go John Hurt Nemechek. I'm glad that the broadcast is finally bringing up how insanely consistent he has been in his Cup career at Daytona, and he might not be a pick to get the win, but if like you're a betting man and you need somebody for a good like top 10 bet, I feel like John Hurt Nemechek would be a good bet.
Legacy was all 3 in the top 12 a year ago.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with Anthony Alfredo as my underdog. I think he will race his way into the Daytona 500, and when he gets there, do fairly decent.
Big. I like that. That's a fun pick. But speaking of fun, it's time for the big moment. Who is going to win the 68th annual Daytona 500? I asked that question somewhat rhetorically because I now have to answer my own question first.
Rhetorical.
Spherical.
I'm gonna go chalk and say Ryan Blaney won the summer race. I just feel like he's there more times than he's not. I think the pendulum falls his direction this time. Give me Ryan Blaney.
Ooh, all right. Chat, I think, is the chat going sentimental on this one?
I see a lot of 8s. I see some 11s.
That's a lot of 8s.
It's certainly some 19s for
8s.
Briscoe.
8's the most consistent I see.
I would agree. I don't know if it's a majority, but it's definitely a plurality. I'll give you all a second to decide.
You'll see a ton of 8s before you'll see another number scattered.
See, like, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it from the StreamYard view, and it's just 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. And then a few 6s, a few 11s, 17s.
I'm watching it from the pop-out YouTube version. It's just more consistently 8, in my opinion.
I agree.
So
I think certainly
Kyle Busch.
Yeah, I think you guys got to get Kyle Busch on this one. Pole sitter, not a bad pick.
You know, this guy runs up front every year, and you got to think eventually you'll hit on it, right? Like eventually you'll do so well and you'll be fast enough, you'll be in position. Eventually you'll get that win. Eventually, maybe you won't make a bad move or have somebody take you out. I'm going to go Joey Logano in this one. I think I picked him last year, and I might have picked him the year before too, but the Penske cars and Joey Logano are always bad fast in the Daytona 500 and something happens. But if you bring speed to one of these races, eventually you're going to break through. I think it's going to be Logano's year.
Solid.
Yeah, I definitely had him as one of my options. So now looking at the 3 that I have in front of me, I wanted to have a lot of confidence in Brad Keselowski because the last time he had a big leg injury like this, he come out and he won. And I don't know. I just don't know that this is his year to do that per se. So I think I will actually still have a lot of confidence in his team and go with Chris Buescher to win the Daytona 500.
Okay. Yeah,
I like that.
Solid choice there. I think RFK will be good, especially if they get LaJoy in. They have an extra drafting dance partner. It's not bad.
We went outside. I mean, the hosts, at least, we're all in on Ford.
I guess you're right. Yeah. 2 Penske's and a Roush.
And then the chat has Priest as their dark horse pick.
Yeah. I mean, it's just these races are so hard to predict. It's just like Ford spends the most time up front. They still seem to get pretty good fuel mileage. Tonight, the broadcast insists it wasn't a glitch, but the Fords have figured something out with their engines where it's actually faster to not go full 100% throttle in single car runs. There's some black magic going on in those Roush Yates engines. They just always seem to be near the front, and then it's circumstantial from there. I mean, last year on the last lap, Austin Cindric was leading. Denny Hamlin gets to his outside. Cole Custer gets to his outside, and then they all wipe out, and a Chevy wins. Like, so, I mean, it's.
I'm curious to hear who were the ones you guys didn't go with, because 2 of the ones that I had wrote down are off the board. I also considered Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin and chose not to go with them.
I had Cindric. I had, because I'd picked third. All 3 of mine were the 3 Penske cars, 22, 12, 2 in that order.
So the only Penske car I did not write down was Joey Logano. I had Cindric. I did write down Kyle Busch just for the memes. My second pick, though, that I almost went with was Chase Briscoe, who won Talladega last fall. Once again, fast. He was 4th, I think, in the 500 last year. So that pole speed did still translate to good race speed. That could be the case this year again. So I thought about Briscoe, but ultimately went with Ryan Blaney. But those are our picks. Chat, appreciate y'all playing along. We'll find out in 1 week who got the best of the NWP Daytona 500 picks.
I know just how wrong we really were.
Tune in February 18th, 8 p.m. Eastern time on the Iceberg to see how we all did. This has been a good time. Appreciate you all hanging out with us. It's time for our final Super Chat stage break, what we call the Super Chat Cool Down Lap. Let's see what you guys have been talking about in the comment section down below. I believe we left off here with this blasphemy from Evergreen Mountain 1. Jeffrey King, Elliot says, Elliot, no make. I don't know what that means.
That's from the graphic earlier. They messed up, and you couldn't even see if he had a manufacturer.
Yes.
That's why I said Chase Elliott's racing NASCAR 09. They had no manufacturers.
A lot of criticism of Fox's graphics. M. Martin fan for life says the new graphics are simply the same as putting lipstick on a pig. I thought they looked okay, but I mean, yeah, so other than the typos.
Not to pull it back up, Jarrett, can you pull up that graphic again from earlier, that weird top 10?
Just keep piling on.
I mean, yeah, hold on. Let me get everything.
So it's something that I think
around.
It's something I think I'm noticing more now after someone pointed out that I don't think I can really unsee now. I'll wait till it's up. So we don't have cartoons of them anymore, but I swear they have used some kind of AI to enhance them. Look at the NASCAR Cup Series logos and how AI slop they are.
I can't see it. Like, it's too small on my end.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to take a.
Some people really pointed out that it just feels kind of AI on some stuff, and it's especially like Corey Heim looks like he has a drooping eye a little bit, and kind of same thing going on with Chase Briscoe a little bit. It just feels like there's a little bit of heavy AI use there.
It could be. I'm certainly no defender of generative AI, but I also do feel like we're at a point on social media where I feel like AI slop gets thrown around a little too liberally. Like sometimes it's just bad CGI or bad graphic design.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the case too. Well, Southern Farmer left a super chat. Southern Foamer, I'm sorry. Got the train in the profile pictures.
Yeah, come on, Eric. I'm offended.
Apologies. Sup 3 amigos, don't know if y'all remember me, but last year I said I was thinking about going to Daytona again to be a good luck charm for Byron. Well, I'm going. So do y'all think he'll get the 3-peat?
If I would have known that, I might have made a different pick.
Yeah, now we should have gotten to this sooner. That's on us. Maybe. Shoot. Possibly. Goodness. Justin Drake, thank you for the 10, says, I'm going to pull an SEC football move, and I'm saying Firefox and Mike Joy, just 2 events into the season. My God, I miss when Fox was decent and Mike Joy knew what was going on. I mean, I didn't have the volume up the whole time tonight, but I thought Mike Joy did good tonight. I don't know. I thought he was solid.
I thought there were worse problems with Fox than Mike Joy tonight.
Maybe Mike Joy was been replaced by AI, and we just don't realize it yet. No, sorry. Just kidding. Young Money 2003 says Fox pushing the beginning of qualifying to FS2 is a joke. Nobody cares about college basketball. Okay. Like, I mean, I agree, but also like, imagine how now we know how Masked Singer's fans felt last week. Probably saying nobody cares about cars going in circles. Also from Jeffrey King, Heim should have gotten a full-time ride this year somewhere. That's not right. That's racing. Calypso, are you ready for another rainy Daytona 500? Please no. Please spend. Jeffrey King says JRM needs full-time number 8 in 2027 in Cup. I think they can work out a deal with Richard Childress. Maybe that would
The
be pretty
DEI
cool.
font.
The 40 is just because of the sponsor, right? It's tied to the whiskey brand. That's the reason they're
Yeah.
running 40. Another super chat here from Jay says Dean Thompson's and Wright's sponsors should leave them and move to Heim. They may finally see a profit. Gosh, man,
Jesus.
I'm a big Corey Heim defender, but we don't have to put everybody else down to, to prop him up. Let's see, from Rowdy 8 Diecast. Should I have hope? I don't care. KFB poll, baby. After all the recent laws, I'm just happy to lows. I'm just happy to celebrate a poll. If he wins the 500, I'll never come off that high. That would be really special. I'm rooting for Kyle Busch. It'd be a great story. And I think his fans, they've been through it the last couple of years. That would be a feel-good win. As feel-good as a Kyle Busch win could possibly be.
Have hope. It's a fun part of being a fan.
Jensen, thank you for the 10. Seeing the 8 get the pole brought a smile to my face. Looking forward to the duel tomorrow. Hoping for a dry Sunday for the 500. Aloha, everyone. Aloha to you as well, Jensen. Appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for the support. Thank you, Hollow. Daytona has been Ask Me with 15 to go for about 2 generations of cars now, TBH.
I don't go that far. I mean, the COT, honestly, outside of the tandem era, was pretty like 08 ended under a good green run, no big wreck.
They said
09.
last 2. That's Gen 6, Gen 7. I was
I mean,
maybe
I
they're
guess
saying
you count this one.
maybe they're saying
sure.
Gen 5 was good. Maybe they wish it
But
was like the COT.
I mean, I would even say up until 2017, it really wasn't a wreck fest at the Daytona 500. I think it's more of a driver almost thing than a car.
Message from Davy Jones. NASCAR Chasm reading the novel will now count if Mr. Lumberg can find 999 more people. Everything 999.
I thought it was
souls.
99 souls.
I think you're right.
I thought it was
I'm the Pirates of the
yeah.
Caribbean nerd. I think it is. Yeah, it's 9. You're right. It's how many souls do you think my soul is worth? And Davy Jones says 100.
I like her character.
Jack backstabs Will Turner.
I like her character in 28 Days Later a lot more than I like her character in Pirates at this point. I'm getting reminded too much.
My Twitter feed keeps showing me like a bunch of people like watching Pirates of the Caribbean for the first time ever and raving about how amazing it is. And I'm like, yes, it is the greatest. I think it's the greatest trilogy of all time.
Ooh, Lord of the Rings is better.
Oh, no.
I go Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, man, that's like 10 hours of content. I respect the density, but come on now. You got to keep me awake.
I've gotten in too many movie debates on this show. We should keep moving. It's too late.
Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy, pretty good too.
Oh, the third one ruins it. CR John says, I have nothing against him, but Gragson's dumb mistake in qualifying reminds me of NASCAR's recent video where Gragson openly called himself smart. Yeah. I mean, Noah's not always the most self-aware, but that's why we love him. Back to the Future. Oh, Toy Story is a pretty great trilogy.
That is pretty good too.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
But
John Wick.
Are we ignoring Toy Story? Is literally making number 5 right now.
See, for me,
nobody's mentioning Star Wars. That's
the original Star Wars trilogy. The thing is like Ewoks, but then when you have like the Gungans in the next one, and then you have just Disney after that, it's like,
yeah.
Oh, it could be worse.
Now there's some Star Wars next. Okay.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is good. I will defend Pirates until the ship sinks. I will go down with the ship.
I guess there's cars, but 2 doesn't really fit. So
no. Napa Racing fan says Fox's kryptonite is their NASCAR broadcasts. Oof. Another one from Sierra John. According to Fox, JGR switched back to Chevy. Yes, and Kyle Busch back in a Toyota. And thanks for the support, Sierra John. Yes, be at Daytona first thing tomorrow. Can't wait. Excited. J-Mac, thank you for the 5. Going to the 500 for the first time. Sunday looks sketchy, but Monday looks better. Glad my flight is Tuesday. Way to plan ahead. Well done. Let's go KFB.
Profile picture, whatever kind of creature that is.
Man, ooh. We got one here from I don't know how to pronounce this. Los
Iosphere.
Peri.
Asphere.
Los Pier. There's no H.
There's an I at the start.
I don't know, but I like their statement though.
Los Peri. Yeah. I had a gut feeling it's Bowman's year, and everything I'm seeing is backing up that hunch. Let's go. Bowman with a solid qualifying effort tonight.
Confidence.
Chase Ehrmann, that could be the difference for him.
Agree. Scott McNew, it's great to see you guys. Hope all is well and that y'all had a great offseason. I have to give props to Brad K for making it to Daytona. Unfortunately, I suffered a similar injury recently, and those are not fun to recover from. Gosh, Scott, well, I hope you're doing better, man. Rebuilding up that strength. Yeah, I've heard Brad said it's like the most painful injury he's ever sustained. And like Danny said earlier, he won a race on a broken ankle some time ago. So
he said that his words were, "I understand now why during the Civil War they would amputate the legs when they were broken, because it's the worst pain he's ever had, and he just wanted to be rid of it."
Jeez. Yeah. So I hope you get to feeling better, Scott.
Yeah, I broke my lower leg when I was like 14, and that was awful. I can't imagine breaking the strongest like bone in your body. Oh God.
Justin Drake, thank you for the 5. Says 2311 and Heim are going to be the polar bear from the latest Pepsi commercial. C Bathis says NASCAR on 2/11/26. Hell yeah, NASCAR on 2/12/26. Here's our new EV.
It's like the hell yeah is like the buff SpongeBob, and the EV is like that. Hi, how you doing?
That's funny though. That is
that's a good
pretty wild contrast. Rowdy 8 Diecast, who would be the NASCAR equivalent of Sam Darnold?
Martin Truex Jr.
Truex, that's a good pick.
It would be Truex. I knew we weren't going to get through this without hearing something about it. Getting fucking flashbacks from it, man.
Damn. Nap Racing fan said, glad Drake and Josh lost the Super Bowl for the Pats. I've never heard them referred to as Drake and Josh.
Well, I saw some photoshops of like Drake May just looking like Drake Bell, but I don't know what the Josh has to do with anything.
Isn't that Josh McDaniels, the OC, is what I'm assuming, unless I'm mistaken. Probably. Just take it easy, man. Okay. Who was it? Shout out to, did I imagine this? There was someone we know, I swear I saw on Twitter recently, got a photo with Drake Bell randomly.
Oh, God, yeah. Who was that? I did not.
Was it Davey? Did he get a photo with Drake Bell? Was it
Davey Segal?
Yeah. No, who was it?
I remember he got a picture of the poor Japanese woman wearing a Kyle Busch jacket, and she was
that's my mistake
as hell.
Anyway, someone we know, I was like, I turned to Amelia, I was like, so-and-so met Drake Bell randomly. What the hell? Anyway, maybe someone in the chat has any clue what we're talking about. I have no idea. Once again, from John here, as a Reddick fan, I would pay some serious money to see him in the 48 or tip-top equipment in general. I mean, he's been balling on a budget in his Cup career so far and still has managed to win a lot of races. Just a Corvette guy, Brian Vickers had some major breaking news. Shall we talk about it? Is it anything new other than what was a couple weeks ago?
Unless there's anything new from that, it's all covered in my video.
Yeah. Certainly not good. Not great stuff. Not great relationships he was keeping, it seems. We got a few here from Indy Carson. Hey, NWP. Eric, have fun at the 500. All I want is no weather delay. That would be a true win. Glad Daytona is trying another date next year to see if it's better with weather luck. I mean, really just getting pushed by the Super Bowl. But yes, hopefully they land a good weather date next time. Lastly, facts. The last pole winner to win the Daytona 500 was Dale Jarrett in 2000. Gordon, though, did it in 1999, but he is the last driver to win last race of the season in 98 and win the Daytona 500 in 99. So yeah, that's crazy. It's been that long since the pole winner went to victory lane.
Well, and then the last race winner in the 500, that'd be Ryan Blaney. If he were to do it, he'd be the first one, right?
I'm pulling for that then. Sounds good to me. Just a Corvette guy says, love the show, guys. The accountability segment is my favorite. You know who'd be a great part of the segment? Brian Vickers. There's someone who needs to take accountability.
I was reading through. I'm like, uh-oh.
Fair enough. Well played. From Justin Drake, what if NASCAR goes to San Juan, Puerto Rico for a street course around the Capitol building and the Castillo San Cristobal, the largest fortified location in the Americas, still in the U.S., but in the Caribbean? I know Puerto Rico is a hot topic of conversation now after the halftime show. I maybe get Bad Bunny to perform during a NASCAR halftime.
That would go over well.
That'd be something. Ryan Idius, on Noah's penalty, Fox said NASCAR doesn't like drivers' hands off the wheel, which is a pretty flimsy excuse in my opinion. Yeah, I mean,
How are they supposed
guess
to shift the cars?
Yeah, true. I mean, they're only doing it on the straightaway, right? I don't know. Were they doing it in the turns? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, maybe they're doing it in like the tri-oval too, and that's the sketchiest part of the track. So I guess. But
has anyone wrecked during qualifying in the last decade? I don't think so. I don't know. Where are we at? Justin Drake, Common Herbst career low light. This one from Mexico last year. How much signal do I need to cross 8 lane? None. I turn now. Good luck, everybody else. That
sensitivity training now.
That was a pucker moment. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Crash Travels USA has a fictional driver even been the random driver? If not, April Fool's Day is a Wednesday this year. Just saying.
We might have
That's a
something
hint.
else. We might have something else better for April Fool's Day. I won't go
That's a
any
hint.
further than that.
Hunter Nixon fishing. It was brought up earlier. I agree with Jared as someone who's been going to Talladega since 06. It definitely needs a facelift. I know the grandstands area for sure. They did upgrade the infield not that long ago, and it's pretty nice. I don't know about all the campgrounds, but the infield, the garage and stuff is really nice. So if they can spruce up the grandstands, even better. Ram Race for the Seat review from Napa Racing Fan. I did not watch all the episodes. I watched like two and a half. The ones I watched, I think I said this on the show. I thought like for a YouTube series were really like good quality. Chris Rice is really into it. Maybe he's not for everyone, not everyone's flavor, but you know, I enjoyed learning a little bit more about some of these other grassroots racers. So if you had just told me, hey, this is a made for YouTube show, I would have said that they did a good job with it, I think. But I didn't watch all the episodes.
I watched a little bit more of it, and I'm like, all right. I mean, I had it spoiled for me weeks ago.
That was the problem, is I knew who won like 3 months ago.
Yeah, and I'm just like, all right, I know how. It's like watching a movie. Someone's told you the last 5 minutes of it, and now you're just trying to piece together in your head how you get to that point.
Yeah, it was fun to watch a little bit, but I've just been so busy lately. I couldn't commit the 6 or 8 hours you need to watch all the episodes.
Is this true? Someone said Mini Tyrell weighs 120 pounds. He literally matches his name. He is Mini Tyrell.
Is he that small? Oh my gosh. Oh well, I don't know. He didn't look that small. Maybe he is. Saucy, appreciate the super chat. One more from Calypso. Actually, GOAT movie trilogy is not Pirates of the Caribbean. I disagree, Calypso, with that one. Chris Cahill, what would be your guys' 25th to 30th fifth place driver you could see having a feel-good win now that there's no win in your in rule? I was thinking about this today. McDowell, you sure? I was thinking about this. I think Suarez could be in the mix. But I was like, man, it does feel really, really, really good to go into a Daytona 500. And I don't really care who wins. Like I used to, I don't really root for drivers, but I'll be honest. I'd go into races at Daytona, Talladega, and I'd be like, man, I really hope Cody Ware doesn't somehow win this thing, or Cole Custer or Riley Herbst, who's 35th, and I just don't want to see them take up a playoff spot. That's so frustrating.
You just says, I think I would say Cole Custer. He's been really good at the super speedways. Look how close he was last year.
He about had the right run.
He was really close, right? He was really close in the summer race too.
I'm looking through now the 25th to 35th place drivers, and yeah, I gotta say probably Cole Custer, Ricky Stenhouse. I could see him popping off.
Daniel Suarez almost won Bowman Gray.
Yeah,
I'll throw him out there. Anyway, final few here. Appreciate y'all sticking with us. Napa Racing Fan favorite 3 Doors Down song. Kryptonite is mine. That's probably mine too. It's got to be one of their biggest hits.
It's not my time.
That's a good one.
Also, good one / interesting one is the Citizen Soldier, and they actually combined with National Guard and Dell Jr. and ran the National Guard Citizen Soldier with a 3 Doors Down logo in 2008.
That was the first of the Renaissance Gray Ghost.
First of 3 that Dell Jr. had. One he did not race because it was during his injury time.
Didn't Jeff Gordon race that?
Jeff Gordon did run. I don't think Alex Bowman drove that one.
That's crazy. So Jeff Gordon ran his Cup career with only 2 numbers, 24 and 88.
I saw Dale Jr. run the last Gray Ghost at Martinsville in 2017.
That's right.
Because he since he didn't get to run it, he wanted to run it one more time, so they chose Martinsville to do it.
From Dragon Zord, 2.00 Daytona 500 is Kyle Larson.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that means. Saucy here says favorite Looney Tunes character. First 500 for me. Well, welcome. Enjoy it.
Gotta be
Favorite Looney
Tasmanian
Tune?
Devil right there.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like Yosemite Sam. Ehrmann.
Bugs Bunny from the Meat Canyon videos.
Daffy Duck's always good.
What's up, Dak?
I forgot about Guardians of the Galaxy as a solid trilogy, a more modern one as well. Anyone notice Byron's Exalta flames are now Raptor? Yes, Jess, we did notice that earlier. I prefer last year's scheme a little bit still, but this one's not bad.
Last year's felt like peak Jeff Gordon's game.
Then we got two more super chats. This one says, think Custer and Nemechek will fight again. It's been 10 years. I think I saw them tweeting about that during the whole 2016 trend a few weeks back. So maybe
NASCAR has gotten better at their online content. They need to get those two just in a bar with each other just after all that.
Yeah. And finally, from Justin Drake, me and sensitivity training, Jarrett would work as well as Natalie Decker not wrecking off the front of a tow truck. Not going to happen. Man, Justin Drake always taking shots at everyone here, even when they're like kind of apologizing or. And then finally, how do you think Cletus and Travis will do on Friday? Thank you, bad boy, Bubby. Pastrana's proven he can hold a straight. He's run enough NASCAR races. I think he'll be fine unless something crazy happens. Yeah. Cletus, I have no clue.
I'm gonna be honest. Idea. I know this probably flies in the face of Cletus McFarland and his entire brand, but he should just wait out the big one. Wait in the back of the pack. He's not running for points. Wait for the big one, and then just try and race after that.
I know it's late. I know everyone wants to go, but what is he running for? Obviously, he wants to win the race, but I think more than anything, I think he wants to put on a show. And if he wrecks halfway through,
I think he's just running for fun. I think that's all it really is.
And for Biffle.
He never, with his brand, he never had to become a NASCAR driver. He's just doing it because he wanted to.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
It is cool. It's all of our, I think it's everyone's dream, but to just, go race Daytona,
I'm gonna be honest. If I raced, I'd probably have my own talent memorial and everything.
I think Jared Lundberg talent memorial for people I want to see it. I want to see
people who don't drive good.
They were talking on the broadcast tonight because Cletus is pretty tall, and they were like, sounding like I don't know how he's gonna fit in that truck because I guess the truck is really tight. Had me thinking, could I fit in a truck?
If Michael Waltrip could.
Yeah,
you guys taller than Michael
Waltrip can fit. Austin Cindric has drove a truck.
I'm just saying, I'm a few inches taller than those guys, and so is Cletus. So I don't know. I made me wonder. Now I want to try squeeze into a truck. If a team has a special seat they can put in there, I just want to sit in a truck and see if I can fit. Anyway,
if Mike Harmon could fit in a truck.
I'm just putting that out into the world. But it's late. Appreciate everyone sticking with us. We were able to do a full show tonight, despite the late start. Thank you all for hanging out with us, and thank you for the super chats. We really do appreciate the support. This was a great time. Tune in next week. Should be as scheduled. Wednesday, February 18th, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be on Jarrett, the Iceberg's channel. Link to his channel is down in the description below. Link to Danny's channel is down there as well. I'm heading to Daytona first thing in the morning. Going to try to get a few hours of sleep. A lot of good content coming y'all's way in the coming days. Thanks, gentlemen, for sticking with me. Thank you, chat, for sticking with us. We'll see you after the Daytona 500. Have a great rest of your week and a great weekend, folks.
Drivers, start your engine!
See plenty of carnage. Full head on them. Wound up. Yeehaw, boys. Holy.
It's a junkyard.
There's too much time hitting people. Chill a second. No gas, gotta hang talk here. Don't overdrive. Just let me do my job.
10 times. I don't care if I wreck the whole field. I'm over him. He's just a moron. That was an absolute bull. Not clear. Awesome. I tell you, Mama ain't raising no.
What the fuck are you doing out here? People are saying, racing like idiots.
I don't care. Just let me drive.
What is he doing?
This is embarrassing. What a clown show.
Did you ever think you would see that?